The strength of the Georgia football team in 2024 is starting to become a little bit clearer and clearer to me as this thing trickles along. Spring practice has been going on. Actually, at the time that I'm recording this, which is Thursday afternoon, this will go out Friday morning. Georgia's practicing right now, and I'm sure if you were walking by, you'd hear Kirby may be getting on to these guys. But I think that the offensive line group might be the strength of this football team. Yes, and Dean and I have talked, I think, a few times about it on Riding Homes recently. How well their superstar on offense might be Carson Beck. There's not a Brock Bowers, right? And Matt McConkey wasn't quite a superstar, but definitely a star player for Georgia. Brock Bowers was a superstar. Carson Beck has an opportunity to be a superstar this year. That's what the expectation that's been placed on him essentially is. It's, hey, Heisman frontrunner. Hey, best quarterback in college football. Hey, national championship favorites. A lot of that pressure goes on Carson Beck. He's not going to be able to do it without the guys in front of him. And I think that group of five, like it has been the last 3 years and since COVID, I almost see COVID as a transitional period for life, not just football, but everything. Ever since 2020, Georgia's offensive line has been elite. It has been a Joe Moore Award finalist multiple times. And this season might be the difference. And this season might be the year that offensive line does get over the hump and win that award. Now, that award doesn't mean anything. All right, if your quarterback's jersey's clean, you're winning national championships, you're winning big games, right? That trophy doesn't mean anything. Even 2 years ago, Cedric Van Pran talked about how they felt slighted, right? Well, Cedric Van Pran's not around anymore, and Jared Wilson will be, and he is expected to be Georgia's starting center this year. It's what I've seen in warm-ups. It's what I've seen in practice. It's what we've seen the last couple of years, him being the backup center to Cedric Van Pran. We heard from Jared Wilson the other day for the first time. We had Kirby Smart make a really big statement that I'll read some of it about Jared Wilson. And I think that this offensive, look, he is the only new starter. That is the thing. He's the only new starter in this group. And what they're saying about him is that he's a freak and that he has a chance to be better than Cedric Van Pran. Is that the case? Well, Cedric Van Pran was starting in front of him, so I don't know. But you're only losing two starters because at the end of the day, Amarius Mims missed a lot of games, and they have had a lot of people start at the offensive line, and they've had Xavier Truss start, several games at that tackle spot. So there's nothing new there. It's a spot that he's already been at. Across left to right, Ernest Green, Micah Morris or Dylan Fairchild, Jared Wilson, Tate Ratledge, Xavier Truss. Right? There's 2 or 3 names I've left off that list, and they're going to be out there playing a lot. Because this is also a deep room. And I think it's the strength of the Georgia Bulldog football team so far to this point. Ryan Curley from Dawg here talking about Georgia's offensive line and why they're really, really good. Experience is one of those reasons. Experienced Georgian fans know that the Dawg Post newsletter is the best out there and that you should be signing up for it. And big kudos to you if you've already done that. The link is in the description below. All you do is click on it. You put your email address in, and then you're tapped in. You're one of the most tapped in Georgia fans out there. You and the rest. I actually don't know how many people are signed up for the newsletter off the top of my head, but there's thousands of you guys, and it's efficient. It's a good way to keep up with what's going on because we give you a little notification every single day. Hey, this is what's happening. Breaking news. You get it in 10, 15 minutes. You're getting that Dawg Post notification with a story. Don't you want to be given the content? We're making life easier for you. You don't have to come looking for it. That's what you get in the newsletter. And I want to shout out the Red Zone. Rocking my Boom shirt today. Real comfy. You can only find stuff like this at the Red Zone. There's plenty of great shops, right, that have Georgia Bulldogs material. Especially, there's several of them in Athens. But the Red Zone, the content's exclusive in there. Make sure you're going to check it out over on Clayton Street. So let's talk about Jared Wilson first. Cedric Van Pran, a quote came out from him a couple weeks ago that he thinks that Jared Wilson has a chance to be better than him, right? That he's a freak. I was like, really? I mean, you were one of the best centers in college football the last few years. The leadership aspect of Cedric Van Pran is important, right? The consecutive starts, you could see the leadership. I've talked about it over and over, and I've seen it firsthand how he was a leader for that team. He'll still be part of the Bulldog family. Jared Wilson, though. Now, this is year 4 for Jared Wilson. Not a freshman, not a sophomore, not a junior. He's been around, and he's been sitting behind Cedric Van Pran this whole time. What did Carson Beck do? Wait his turn. This is an uncommon thing. And if these things that Kirby Smart and everyone's saying about Jared Wilson are true, dude could have left. This is what Kirby said. I'm excited for the rest of the world to get to see Jared Wilson. He has a lot to do to be the best player he can be. When you talk about athleticism at the center position, this guy runs faster than a lot of our defensive backs. Believe it or not, our tight ends are quarterbacks. I just don't believe some of that, Kirby. Believe it or not, I don't believe some of that. His numbers are extremely athletic for someone over 300 pounds, and he can get to the second level as quick as anybody. Timeout. So Jared Wilson also addressed the media on this day. It was the first time. I thought it was a great interview. Very personal, very thoughtful with what he had to say, very concise. And look, we never, you don't get to talk to him. Because he hasn't been a starter in those official capacities. So it was good to see that his first time doing that, it was very professional and very profound. One of the things that he talked about was, I want to get better at the second level. Well, guess what? Kirby just said, his numbers are extremely athletic for someone over 300 pounds, and he can get to the second level as quickly as everybody. Well, that speed's there, and he talks about how he thinks his speed is the difference and how he can't get to the second level. But what he has to get better is being a mauler at the second level and hitting linebackers and making those blocks. He says he feels great with pass protection. He feels great with the signals. But moving on to that next level is where he wants to get better. And someone who hasn't started a game, who doesn't, have that many game reps and that experience, the fact that he knows what he needs to get better at least has an idea of it, well, one, it shows the development in Georgia's practice, but two, it shows the maturity and the intelligence of a guy who understands this is a really big deal. And the center position for Georgia, there's high expectations there because they've had a lot of good centers over the years. Kirby goes on to say, unfortunately, that's not a position that you rotate a ton, right? Obviously, because they've had Cedric Van Pran. He didn't get a lot of opportunity to play the way that other guys did. And then he said, we enjoyed Cedric's leadership. I'm looking forward to the center being a leader of the group like Cedric Van Pran was. He has taken on a new role doing that. And that's the other thing that Jared Wilson wants to get better at. Well, look, he's the least experienced starter, but could be one of the better ones. We'll move on. You got like four guards that could play. You got Ratledge at right, All-American guy. He'll stick to that spot. At the left guard, they've got two guys that are legitimate starters, and one of them could leave. Don't be surprised if it happens, but one of them could leave. I don't think that's going to happen because they could start. Micah Morris and Dylan Fairchild. I don't know who's going to end up being the starter. Right? Dylan Fairchild was that guy last year when, the offensive line shift had to happen with Amarius Mims being out. Fairchild was the left guard, and he was for the most part. But Micah Morris rotated with him a lot, and he started a little bit as well. Who's better? I don't know. From what I've seen so far in spring practice, it looks like Micah Morris is doing more with the first team. I don't get to see all of practice, so I don't know if Kirby's giving us a mirage to look at. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that it has been Jared Wilson. Micah Morris. They trust both of those guys to play. Xavier Truss can play guard if they feel like it needs to be Xavier Truss at guard. Well, guess what? They've got Monroe Freeling, second-year guy, played some right tackle last year with Xavier Truss getting hurt. Towards the end of the year, got hurt in that Vanderbilt game. Monroe Freeling was someone that benefited big time from that. This group is really good. They've got a lot of starts under their belt. Xavier Truss, year 6. Ernest Green, year 3. Dylan Fairchild, year 4. I think same thing for Micah Morris, same thing for Jared Wilson. Tate Ratledge, year 5. A lot of experience, a lot of wins. Truss, obviously, championship rotational guy. Same thing with Ratledge. And then the rest of them have been around for what's been going on, so they know what the deal is. Behind them is a bunch of giants. A bunch of giants. Give me 5 seconds. I'm going to grab a piece of paper so I can read some numbers. Give me 5 seconds because this paper's right there. Listen to this. Listen to this. This is the roster. These are the freshman offensive linemen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Maybe 6. Maybe I don't know how to count. Malachi Tolliver, 6'5", 320. Michael Uini, I don't know how to say it. 6'7", 325. Marquise Easley, 6'5", 335. Nick Reeves, 6'3", 284. Daniel Calhoun, 6'6", 350. Nair Daniels, 6'8", 365. Now, the weight isn't necessarily good. Kirby wants them down to like 330-ish or even a little bit lower maybe, but Giants. Keeps bringing them in. They keep developing them, no matter who the offensive line coach is, because that's rotated a lot over the last few years, and they're producing NFL offensive linemen. And Marius Mims is going to play in the NFL. Cedric Van Pran is going to play in the NFL. Andrew Thomas, Broderick Jones, Jamar Salyer. They keep churning it out. This line, one of the strengths of this team, it's going to make life easy for Carson Beck. It's going to make life easy for Trevor Etienne, Branson Robinson, all of them. It's the line at the moment. Carson Beck very well. Thanks for watching.